Fellow auto detailers, welcome to the show that features interviews with today's most successful auto detailers. This is the Auto Detailing Podcast. Here's your host, Jimbo Balaam.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to this episode of the Auto Detailing Podcast. I'm Jimbo, your host. Today is a really cool interview. Someone who, I think he was doing like 50-something media segments over the past couple days at SEMA. And he walked into this episode and just absolutely killed it. Ton of energy. And I was so appreciative for that because myself did about 7 interviews, but had over 30 meetings over the course of the 2 days that I was there. So I was, at the time of this recording, I was on the struggle bus, no lie, looking to pull deep down for some energy to make it a real exciting interview. And my guest, Mike Pennington with Meguiar's, over-delivered. I would say way over-delivered, a ton of energy, as you'll see it come through or hear it come through. If you would like to see it come through, I also stuck up my little GoPro and put it up on the side of the room there that we recorded in. So if you would prefer to watch the video version of it, you can do that. Just head over to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/jbalaam, or it'll be linked up in the show notes if you prefer to do it that way. Anyway, if you want to see what Mike Pennington looks like, or me for that matter. My wife was like, did people recognize you at SEMA? I'm like, yeah, a handful of people. She's like, how? Don't they only hear your voice? I'm like, I don't know how they did it, but they did. So anyway, this episode is with Mike Pennington. We talk about D166, which is like the Meguiar's new all-in-one. We talk a little bit about their consumer releases, and we talk all about the releases that they have going on at SEMA 2017. But more than that, it was a really great time connecting with my friend Mike Pennington. And if you guys know Mike at all, you know what a friendly, caring guy he is. So I hope you guys enjoy this episode of me and Mike Pennington, because I really, really enjoyed it and left the interview just with a ton of energy. So Mike, if you're listening, thanks for over-delivering in the energy department and the content department. I really, really appreciate it now and really appreciated it then. So, and for everyone else listening, hope you enjoy this episode. All right. There we go. All right. Welcome to this episode of the Auto Detailing Podcast. I'll add in an extra intro and outro and all that.
Intro and outro,
yeah. But I'm here in this cool little studio booth with Mike Pennington.
Woo! How are you?
Good. How about you? Good to see you again.
I am fantastic. It's kind of nice to sit here and just chill for a little bit.
Right?
Isn't it?
Very nice. So, and Mike, the last time we were just discussing, the last time you were on the show was we were doing the MT300.
I think we were in our training room.
In the training room.
We sure
in
were.
Irvine. Yep.
Shame on us for not getting together more often,
And I'm so close.
It's kind of scary.
I'm right there. But so thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
How's SEMA treating you so far?
SEMA has been very good so far. We got a couple of super sweet rides on display, new products. We say that every year, how can SEMA get better? But it seems that it, in a weird way, kind of does get better every year. So sign me up again already for next year.
Awesome, right? So I guess before we get into that, for those people that don't know your name, doesn't sound familiar, what is your role at Meguiar's?
My role at Meguiar's is I lead our global training team. I also lead our event marketing team, for all the shows that go around the country. And then I also lead our solutions hub, which is, let's call it our 800 number.
Okay.
That all rolls up under me. Got great guys under me that manage and run all that, but ultimately that's me.
Nice. And how long have you worked for the company?
I knew you were going to go there. Actually, 28 years with Meguiar's, and this is my 29th SEMA directly with Meguiar's. But I will clarify, yes, I did start when I was 5.
Yeah. What did you do? Because I don't know. I'm just curious. What did you do before Meguiar's?
School. I came right out of college.
Oh, okay.
And believe it or not, I have a degree in computer science.
Okay. Very cool.
But I was one of those lucky ones. I know it's so cliche, but find something you love,
right.
You'll never work a day in your life.
And you did.
I'm a living example of that. So
did you... did you meet up with Barry originally, or how did that?
That is exactly right.
I know that's not the focus
No,
of what
that's
we're talking
I'm
about,
okay with
but
it.
it just kind of popped into my head, and
great
I'm
conversation.
fascinated by it.
I was lucky enough to go to school with his daughter.
Okay.
And I had a couple of cool cars, of course.
Got it.
And got to meet friends of friends and friends, and just Barry found out that I was a true car guy, and of course he loves to hire car guys.
does, yeah.
So when I graduated, I went in for an interview. Was lucky enough to get a job in customer service.
Right.
That's how I started.
Okay. Wow.
And then from there went into sales, event marketing, and now I lead a lot of those teams. So
That's incredible.
It's been fantastic. I would not trade it for the world.
That's awesome.
Would not trade it for the world.
What was Meguiar's like 30 years ago?
Very similar to what it is now.
Really?
Honestly,
Okay.
very similar to what it is now.
So it was already pretty big. Oh, well, I guess when I think like 30 years ago, I think like 70s, not like 80s. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
kinda scary if you
when
think
see
about
that
it,
thing,
right?
It's like, I still think 10 years ago was 1990.
Well, sometimes you see if you're at a store, check ID you had to be born after, 19. I'm like,
wait,
I
I remember that year.
Yeah, wait, what? So, and when I say obviously it was smaller,
Sure.
sales were smaller, but from a events, designing product, our own lab,
Right.
marketing, philosophy, passion, family.
Yeah.
I'm going to add that
Yeah.
word. The feel of the office, none of that's changed really. So that's what's so cool about it.
Right.
Yes, we're bigger. Yes,
Sure.
we sell more products.
Right.
Yes, we're in more countries. But that DNA, I guess you call it,
Yeah.
has not changed. Even with the acquisition in 2008 of 3M, that has continued, which is fantastic. So
When I had the picture in my brain of, there's a picture I saw somewhere, and maybe it's in Barry's office, you might know, but it's like of the original Mr. Meguiar, and there's like a few of them out, and it looks like in front of a garage, and they're in front of like a mixing thing.
Yes.
And when you were saying, the family, the culture, the core identity of the brand, it seems like it's probably been there the whole time.
it has been, and that's one reason I'm still here. But that picture is one of our famous ones. That's 1923. And it's a shot of what we like to chuckle and laugh and say, that's the marketing department, the sales department,
everything.
The R&D,
Right.
all that. And it happens to be the family garage too.
Right.
But as it's progressed through the years, and actually when I started, we were in Newport Beach for a couple of months, and then we moved to the exact same building where we are now in Irvine, on Mitchell's House.
And you guys have the two buildings, right?
Yep,
there?
yep.
Okay, cool.
One of them's kind of the creative side, the other one's operational side.
Nice.
And our main lab is in the one building, the creative side.
Right, okay.
We still make all of our formulas. We still own them. They're still ours.
Wow.
Still control them. So it's kind of neat.
That's very cool. And how much say-so do you have in new product development or anything like that, or that team?
A little bit.
Okay.
We have a great team of people. Obviously, we have a product development team that's actually at the show here, of course, because this is where their babies are launching.
Right.
But it's kind of neat because there's the tech side, there's the product development side, certainly R&D side, customer care.
And they'll have to kind of work together, right?
Yeah,
in
we
a
all
sense?
have a little bit of input in
Yep.
what that customer wants, how good the product can be, what should it be, what is it, what can it be.
Got it.
And that's one thing that hasn't changed, kind of another thing.
That's super cool.
And when it's ready to launch, it'll be ready to launch.
Right.
I've seen products launch in 6 months, and we've seen products launch in 4 years.
Right.
It all varies.
The one product. Well, let's get into products. So because
This is fun.
Yeah, this is fun. So because this one right here, the D166, is something I haven't tried, but I'm super excited about. But whether it's is this the newest product along the professional
We actually
line?
have 3 as part of the professional line, but that's probably the newest one that's in the market right now, already launched in shipping.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. And how's that doing? What's
It's
the reaction?
so far so good.
Okay.
Obviously, reading, watching the forums, watching all the blogs, all that fun stuff.
filter that.
Yeah, I was just saying, let's take the good and the bad,
Right,
throw the highs
sure,
and the lows out.
sure.
But overall,
Because one thing everyone leaves out is user error. or
really, really, do
it's
they?
like, dude, you used way too much, or you didn't use that.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's tough. So we try, but.
But the response has been positive.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
And of course, the 3-inch microfiber
Yep.
relaunch. That's probably
I bet people are excited about that.
Yeah, that's like a no-brainer.
Why was that taken away?
It's to be honest with you, it might have been a little bit ahead of its time. So when those launched, I think there wasn't a lot of DA polishers out there. There weren't a lot out there.
Right.
And obviously, sales. If people aren't buying enough of something, it's going to get taken
you know
out
what?
of the market.
Mike Stoops, we were at, I think it was an IDA meetup, and someone asked, I think it was just when you guys took away the 3-inch or a product of some sort, and they said, well, that's my favorite. Why are you taking it away? And Mike goes, because not enough people were buying it, and we have to make money. This is a business.
Absolutely.
Like I'm glad you loved it. I think it was like maybe the Super APC or something like that. He's like, we have an APC. What do we need? You know what I mean?
And those are tough decisions for us.
I bet.
We've seen some of, let's call it, some of the best performing internal employee favorites is a good word. Unfortunately, get down that situation of it just sales. But then obviously the market for DAs exploded.
Right.
Look at all these manufacturers and sizes.
It's crazy.
So we brought them back. We're already getting asked for smaller ones. So we'll see what happens.
That's what I think is cool. I saw Jason Kilmer was out here with Mike Stoops too, and I think he has that punch out thing. That's cool. Okay, so you got the 3-inch pads, the D166, and then what was the third?
There are a couple more pro items. One is going to be, remember our old All-Purpose Cleaner Plus?
Yeah, that's what it was, not the Super APC.
Yes,
the All-Purpose Cleaner Plus.
All-Purpose Cleaner Plus.
That's coming back.
It is not that exact formula.
Okay.
Actually, a better formula, but the concept of a low foaming all-purpose cleaner.
Okay.
Obviously for the extractors and all that situation.
Okay.
And then we have a citrus wash and wax.
Okay.
Kind of has the family DNA of our Ultimate Wash and Wax in the retail line.
Yep.
We've never really launched a wash and wax. We have Shampoo Plus.
Right.
That's kind of the premier in the detailer. But this is going to be the premium top dog in washing. But the interesting thing is, think of a pro versus a DIY person.
Right.
A DIY person wants suds, they're rinsing, it's sudsing everywhere. Mm-hmm. But think of a pro that is, time is money.
Right.
So when you're rinsing a car, you don't want to keep creating suds.
Right.
So you want to rinse and go.
Yes, I have that picture in my mind of like you got the hose on the hood and it's just like you're like oh my gosh,
stop making
much water,
suds.
much water did it? It's like that commercial, or not the commercial, but the video on like Facebook and stuff, and it's like people showering at the beach.
Yeah.
And the guys over the wall.
And he's like, what is going on here? That's exactly it.
Got it.
So it's whether you call the term free rinsing, quick rinsing, fill in the blank, whatever you want to call it. That's how it's different than the yellow Ultimate Wash and Wax.
Got it.
So both of those, like Ultimate Polish and Wax 3-inch, they're available now. Okay. Those two new ones will be coming probably Q1 at some point. Okay. You know, I wish I had a better time frame, but Q1 is what they say.
Got it. And that's for the professional line.
Yeah, it'll become gallons and I don't know. I think gallons to start with, and then maybe 5s, 55s. Who knows? Okay. You know.
Do you guys do a lot of 55-gallon stuff?
We do actually. Surprising enough, there's large enough accounts, dealerships that are pumping 300-500 cars. A week through. Right. They're going to want that larger size.
Got it.
So auction houses, things like that.
Very cool. So, and then what about on the consumer line? What has come out for them?
Yeah, actually two big ones that really jump out. Mm-hmm. We have obviously the Ultimate line. You know, everybody knows the Ultimate line means our best top tier, kind of best of raw goods, and obviously it costs more for that reason. Sure. But think wheel cleaners for just a second. Whether you're a DIY or you're a pro, isn't it fair to say that if you choose the wrong wheel cleaner, bad stuff will happen?
Good. Yeah, definitely could. Right.
So a lot of DIYers, you ask them about, hey, what kind of wheels do you have? And they don't know.
Right.
I got a 22-inch.
Right.
I got 20-inch.
Right.
No, what kind of surface? Well, they're 3-piece. 3-piece what?
Right.
So obviously we have, in the retail line, we have our hot rims chrome.
Right.
We have our hot rims wheel and tire, and we have our hot rims aluminum.
And that's the difference really from other than the products, and we don't need to get into nitty-gritty about differences, but a consumer grade product, or not even consumer grade, but you're going to break it down a lot more for the consumer to understand, right? That they could pick it up and go, oh, chrome, I have chrome.
That was the concept, and it has been the concept for many years. Okay. Because that's when you get your best foot forward. Because we know that chrome wheel cleaners are 3.5, maybe 4-ish.
Got it.
On the pH scale. Yeah. Because chrome can take a lot of chemical action without hurting it.
Right.
But if you go to an anodized, the bare aluminum, you got brakes, you're going to go with the aluminum wheel cleaner because it's 7 on the 6.9, whatever it is.
Right.
But the challenge has always been, even with those products, you grab the aluminum wheel cleaner because you're not sure, and it doesn't have a lot of bite to it because it's safe on everything. So there's a little bit of disconnect.
Right.
A lot of consumers say, I want the cleaning, even detailers, I want the cleaning ability of your chrome wheel, but I want it to be safe on aluminum.
Right.
That's a tough order to do for anybody. Right. I don't care what company you work for.
Right. Yeah.
So going down that path, that's where the Ultimate All Wheel Cleaner comes into play. It is safe on everything. However, the boosting is about as strong as you can get without beginning to damage sensitive
I bet
components.
that testing was fun.
We got a few stories. Ooh, that's a little too strong.
Yeah. Tone it down a bit.
Whose car was this?
Oh, man.
So we've tested it on anything from cast, uncoated cast,
right?
Billet, uncoated, polished, unpolished billet,
right?
Anodized two-piece, brake components, rotors,
okay.
and all kinds of heated, done all kinds of fun stuff.
Right.
And, this is actually a pretty good formula, and of course, a lot of people work and test on these. And
right.
What I've seen personally with this. It's pretty dang good. I mean, it's amazing. Again, that
it's hard to get across the board, work on everything. But if
you're not going to get,
and you're never going to get there,
yeah.
right? But if you could get pretty dang close,
it is. And again, chrome's still going to be stronger,
right?
But it's going to be far more dangerous.
Got it.
So,
right.
Almost like a wheel brightener in the Pro line.
Yep.
Think of this as safe as an aluminum, but almost the cleaning, getting close to the cleaning of wheel brightener.
Yep.
That's where this is going to fall.
Because
wheel brightener is not safe on everything.
Right.
You
right.
start knocking it down 10 to 1, whatever you want to do, but it's not safe on everything.
Right.
So this is super exciting on this one.
Very cool.
The other one is heavy duty bug and tar, and that's kind of a funny story. We've been talking in some of these meetings about, you think how simple or how complex can bug and tar be? Not so much. But if you start thinking, bug and tars of the past have either been one of two fold. One is they're very caustic, like you smell some of these old,
and almost you feel it in your lungs.
Yeah,
like
you're
instantly.
like, woo!
Yeah.
Or there's some bug sponges that are good,
right.
and there's some bug sponges that are not so good.
Yep.
Imagine a DIYer grabbing the wrong bug sponge on a black hood.
Yep.
So we're like, God, there's got to be a better way to loosen and soften up and remove bugs and tar.
Okay.
So we've asked a lot of people come through our booth today. We'll say, hey, if you've got a dried bird dropping on your hood, would you just wipe that off dry? And of course the answer is going to be
no.
And we say, what are you going to do?
Right.
You're going to soften it, spray it, wet it, rehydrate it,
right.
soften it, then wipe it up.
Right.
That's essentially what this new heavy duty bug and tar is. The concept of rehydrating, it's called the science of rheology. Is really what it is. You're softening that way when you come back with a wash mitt during your normal wash cycle, so you're pre-saturating essentially is what you're doing. For a DIY
Does
person.
it work for sap?
It doesn't.
It
doesn't.
Okay.
You got all excited.
Sorry.
But
Well, I was like,
sap. No,
because
sorry.
I didn't even, and to be honest, I didn't even know a bug and tar remover could remove sap.
And it still can't.
But I saw one time, and the guy was using it for sap, and it worked great. So
that might have been one of those ones that are pretty strong, and
probably
chemically solventy.
It was.
So that's probably going to work. But this one, not so much.
I'm surprised to see this in the consumer line and not the professional line.
Well, you never know what's going to lead off. You know, sometimes we launch a pro line that finds a modified version into retail.
Got it.
And we've even had, like, for example, 105, a derivative of that is Ultimate Compound.
Right.
But go the other direction, sometimes it starts out as a, quote, retail item and will trickle into pro. A good example of that is Quick Interior Detailer. That started retail and went into pro.
Got it.
So you never know what's going to come down.
Interesting.
You know?
Cool.
And not to say a pro couldn't buy this anyways, and use it.
Exactly, right, exactly. And I've heard bug and tar removers are not easy products to make.
It's as simple as they are. It was a bit challenging, so we kind of just sat back to the table and said, let's not get too wild. Let's not be too far out there. Let's just talk about what needs to be done to get that bug off.
And why aerosol versus a spray bottle?
Oh, great question. So an aerosol, to take that bug a little bit further, is you need dwell time. So on the horizontal surfaces of a car, you get dwell time if you triggered something on very easily. But think of a vertical grill. If you had a trigger watery formula, what would happen to that? It would spray on and it would literally run right off. So now we said you're losing the dwell time and the rehydration. So we had to go to a foam.
Got it. Oh, okay.
Because the foam is going to cling.
It sticks.
And it doesn't break.
The product
there you go. That's why it's aerosol.
Interesting. Wow, that was a good question.
There was thought to it. There was, and believe it or not, there's all kinds of foam levels. We were chuckling about that.
Bet.
Just from foams that break quick and run to crazy shaving cream that's hard as a rock. Where do we tune that in there?
And I think that's one thing that never really gets any thought other than the R&D team.
Seriously,
it's
you'd be surprised.
I know. There's all this. I didn't even think about the foam.
Yeah, they're like, what do you want the foam to be like?
You're like, what do you mean? I didn't
realize we had options. Thick,
good. So it sticks.
Not run. So they're like, let me show you some. Those are the fun stuff we have with the lab guys. They're great guys. They've been with us a long time.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What do we got next?
I think the next one's going to be carpet and cloth refresher.
Okay.
Our whole car air refreshers we've had for many years.
Yep.
The full car fogger.
Yep. Yeah. The little odor bomb things.
That's correct. That's correct. Disclaimer: do not use the word bomb in that situation. No, just kidding.
Well, you know what's funny about saying that is some guy. I was doing another interview and this guy bangs on the table, and I'm like, dude, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Like, come on. And then I heard last night someone had those like poppers that you throw on the ground.
Throw on the ground, right?
Not appropriate right now. It's
no, exactly. Right now, especially in Vegas.
Yes,
of all places. So then we launched the little small spot cleanups, right?
Okay.
The little, I think it was last year. Well, we learned real quick that consumers equate, and again, think DIY consumer, they equate spot odor elimination / refreshing to a trigger.
Okay.
In their mind, they want a trigger. So this is the same technology as the fogger.
Okay.
But it's just put into a larger 24-ounce trigger spray that they can point at their seat, point at the car.
Got it.
For a spot. That's all it's for.
Okay.
So we still sell our whole car air refreshers, but that's just going to be a spot. And of course, no, that's sand in there.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
I was going to smell it. I'm like, new car sand. It
that
felt like there was something in there.
Listen to that one.
That's sand.
That's a mock-up. You can feel free to smell it if you want, but
I was going
we
to.
are in Vegas.
Are they all sand? Or
no, those are live. Nothing here. That's water. And sand, yeah.
Sand.
So mostly mock-ups.
Got it.
Because all the stuff, obviously with the exception of the ultra polishing wax, that's already shipping, 3-inch have been shipping.
Yep.
All this other will start shipping. No, actually December, believe it or not.
Okay, cool.
December. So
Very
you'll
cool.
find it online first, obviously.
Okay.
And
Through, does Meguiar sell direct online?
We do.
Oh, cool.
Meguiar's direct, and then
is that new or no?
we have
been.
We have a refresh site.
Got it.
We've always had. We just cleaned up the site.
Got it. Okay.
Yep. And then most of your other outlets, online, and then brick and mortar will be Q1. Because when you'll see it start trickle in.
Okay.
Yep.
Very cool. Do people steal the products?
Unfortunately, yes.
Is that why you fill it with sand?
Yes. But we have our, the other side of the booth, we have all the products that are live. And unfortunately, we've had some grow legs already. And I guess, there's two ways you can take that.
Sure.
One, we're flattered.
Right.
Two,
Right.
if you simply would have asked for it, we might have given it to you. You don't need to steal. That's not. That doesn't set a good tone for anybody.
Right. Okay, we are right about 20 minutes.
Boom.
I can't believe that worked out
seemed
great.
like 2 minutes.
I know, it did. I'm super close to you. I need to come down way more often.
The door is always open
I
between
appreciate
me, Mike, Nick. Most people at the office.
Yeah. Well, and
Don't
going
be
back
shy.
real quick, it's like when you brought up that family atmosphere, like that's what really, knocked me in the face the first time I came, because I thought it was like going to be this huge operation. It is a big operation, but I thought it was going to be like this, like very overwhelming thing. And it was like, I remember the first time I was sitting in the Recaro seat in the conference room. I'm like, wow, do they know I'm really a nobody? Like, this is amazing.
We just have some fun.
That's
what's so cool about it.
awesome.
But you know where to find us.
Yeah.
Don't
tell
be a stranger.
everyone how they can look for these new products.
It's
social media, all that.
Absolutely. We're Meguiar at Meguiar's USA. We're on Instagram, Facebook, MeguiarsOnline.com. You can look up all these items we talked about. Nick is the administrator there. We launched those on Tuesday. If you want to find out where to call us up at 800-347-5700. I think that's everything.
That's awesome. Thanks for your time.
All right, buddy. Thanks.
Appreciate
nice
it.
seeing you.
All right, you too. Thanks for listening to another episode of the Auto Detailing Podcast. Head on over to autodetailingpodcast.com for full show notes and links of everything that we've talked about today. And don't forget to check out our resources page for a direct link to all the products talked about not only on today's episode, but that I use in my day-to-day detail business. They have direct links so you can purchase and get free shipping right from that page. That's autodetailingpodcast.com. We'll see you on the next episode.